hello, Capricorn and Capricorn rising. So last month, a lot of my Capricorns were really wanting to know about work. And I really didn't have a lot of work news, and I don't have a lot of work news this month. I do have something going on in work, but it's not really positive. I see this being, unfortunately, kind of a sporadic month. There's a lot going on this month in a lot of different areas, and it's kind of an odd month. I don't think it's going to be like the ambitious month that you would like, but it's definitely an interesting month. So let's get started. Okay, on the 2nd, we have Mercury positively aspecting Saturn, and this is going to be in your 4th house of home and family. And the Sun is going to be in a positive aspect to Jupiter at the same time. So this is about your core. This is about expanding your inner sweet stuff. It's about communication. It's about Saturn giving you all the tools. Anytime Saturn is positively aspecting anything, it is allowing you to look long term. And so this is your kind of energy. You like long term. You like goals. You like to set a long range goal, and you're very steady in it. So home and family is going to be very important for you to have that foundation that you so crave. Now, you want this social status and you want it now, but you know that there's a path. You know it takes a little while to get there, and you never take your eyes off the ball. So for you Capricorns, you may not like the distraction of the home and family, but I assure you that if you address the home and family like we talked about last month, you balance out the relationships in the home versus the career goals, it all creates one solid foundation. And so the universe is trying to keep you on that balance of home and family versus and relationship energies versus actually climbing the ladder. So it's still working on that, still kind of picking on that for you. On the 4th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, which is partnership energy in your 10th house. This is a difficult energy because it's at a difficult angle with that Pluto-Uranus square energy. So it's still picking at you about balancing that career goal with your relationships. And if you're not doing that well, if the long talks that you had in March did not significantly reduce your issue, you're going to find that your partner may get sick of it and may completely leave your life unexpectedly. Now understand that anytime Uranus is in there, it is a volatile, unexpected energy. It comes from nowhere. Like you don't see what's coming with Uranus in the mix. It could mean that you have a revelation and you decide that you can't balance both and you don't want to. The universe goes in and just eclipses that relationship out. If you're not shining in this relationship, it's a needy relationship. It's not a relationship that you can see going long term. Let me describe for you what a lunar eclipse is. A lunar eclipse is when the Earth blocks the sun and casts a shadow over the moon. If you were to remove emotion from this, if you were going to remove the love that you have for this person, and if you were just going to look at this logically, is this a person that you can see going long term? Because if it's not, then the universe wants you to go in and take care of that relationship. Now, it's an emotional issue, but really, honestly, we're talking about stabilizing your life. And we're talking about anything that casts a shadow over your stability needs to be removed. And if it's an emotional issue, it's going to bring it to an accumulative head. There's no getting around this kind of energy. It's volatile. It's unexpected. Pluto's in there asking you to personally transform this relationship or get out of it. And it's just in a very volatile area. So you may have a sudden upset and a loss in this relationship. And it's going to be difficult for you because you're just wanting to stabilize your life at this point. Just know that if something happens and it is eclipsed out, this relationship, now mind you, this could very well be in this energy. It could be a relationship not at home. It could be a relationship at work because this is in your 10th house. So this could be a relationship that is demanding too much of your time and taking you away from your home, and you are deciding that you've had enough of this. They're working you like a dog, and you give them an ultimatum, and maybe that ultimatum doesn't sit well, and maybe it means the end of the career. It's definitely something having to do with career, though. The energy is saying, and partnership. So whatever it is, there's something having to do with those two dynamics, and something is coming to a head. It's a cumulative energy. Now understand, every time that you are in, you have a lunar eclipse, it's the power of 6 full moons, because we only have 2 lunar eclipses a year, and they're about 6 months apart. So this is a really, really emotional subject. This is like, it's just top 10 for you. Now understand that you are going to go and revisit this issue about 6 months from now. Or it is actually an energy that was brought up in the previous 6 months when we had our last lunar eclipse, and it's coming to a head. I know for me, April is a dissolution from the previous one, and I know that it's an ending. It's a closing of a door. It's a closing of a chapter in a relationship for me, and so it's difficult. I see it coming to that. I see the loss. I see the book clearly going on the shelf and never being pulled back off. And so it's a really sad thing to go through, but I know that where there's that kind of lost energy, there's a wonderful, wonderful regenerative energy coming back in there. It will, if you lose this job because it's either your relationship or your job, oh my God, you're a Capricorn, for crying out loud. You're gonna come back from this, and you're gonna be more powerful in the next job, and it could mean something good for you. If it's a loss in a relationship, it could mean that it's a relationship that wasn't a good long-term relationship for you. The energies in the universe know what is holding you back. They do. And so if you don't know it, if you're not the change agent in your life, if you can't make the changes, the universe will go in and change it for you. And that's just the bottom line. I think we all have freedom of will. We can all postpone it, but then every eclipse time, this is going to start to come around, and it's just going to cascade and get worse and worse and worse. I know I put mine off forever. So I just want you guys to be aware of that energy on the 4th. On the 6th, it starts to look up. Like, you go through that difficult time, but then the energy kicks back in. It gets really positive. Mars and Venus are up there kind of doing a dance. It's making you really attractive, a really great potential employee. If something happened with your job, you're going to go out there and you're going to find another job with no problem. It's going to have way better aspects than the last job did. If it's a relationship that was that had the accumulation, and then it was a dissolution of that relationship, then you're going to be magnetic for somebody. Even if you're not ready, you're not going to be able to beat them off with a stick. Like, it's just a really beautiful energy for most people. It makes us all be very attractive and very passionate. On the 6th, Mercury is in a positive aspect with Jupiter, and this is in your 8th house. Now, your 8th house is shared resources. So this relationship that you're in, if it didn't have a dissolution and something happened with that 10th house in your career aspiration, it may be that the two of you guys get together and decide to go into business with each other and stop working for people. It may be that that person supports you while you go back and look at transforming yourself in your career aspirations. But it's a supportive energy. It's a positive energy. It has Uranus in there. It's a transformative energy. It's an expansive energy. Jupiter's in there, ready to expand you, ready to like be a genie in the bottle and make your dreams come true. It's a great time to set up some really great long-term goals. And set them forth, especially in career. I would definitely go for it in career, but I would go for it in any aspect of my life. And then on the 8th, Mercury aligns with Uranus in your 4th house. This is your house of home and family. And you could all of a sudden want somebody to move in with you. If they haven't already, you can ask somebody to move out. And that can free up some of your resources. I see this as being combining resources because I see that you're trying to get yourself a little financially ahead. Something could happen with your childhood home and you could get it in an inheritance and you could sell real estate and it can make you a profit. That would be very unexpected. You could suddenly decide to move. A lot of people would be moving with this kind of energy. And so you may sell real estate. It may be a very, very good time to do that because it could be very profitable for you. On the 14th, Venus opposes Saturn. And this is going to be in your 6th house. So again, I see this being an energy that's asking you to like, okay, I know you're regimented. I know you like to work a 12 to 14-hour day every single day to get ahead. But your partnership isn't going to like that. And you guys are going to have that conversation again about please try to be balanced. It could be a health issue that comes up and that partnership just asks you to really pull back on the reins because you're not doing too well. It's time to set up some positive routines to have a balanced lifestyle. It could mean that. I mean, it could be so many things, but I'm telling you what I read. On the 18th, we have a new moon in Aries. This is new beginnings. And this is going to be in your 4th house. You may want to start a big, huge home restoration project. And this is about making that happen. It may be that you decide to, take that relationship to the next level and make it a commitment. You may talk about being exclusive with somebody. You may talk about combining your resources. It may be one of those energies that really just start the juices going in the right direction. Just know that Capricorn is all about making everything in their life stable. So if they've got somebody in their life that they truly care about, they want that to be stable. So they want to know what they think about home and family. They want to know, where it's going. And it's time for those kind of talks. Then on the 22nd, Mercury aligns with Pluto in your 5th house. Again, this is in creativity. I feel this energy is you're going to want to take a risk. You're not you like your risk to be something that's fun, but I see this as being risk in a romance. I see this as being risk in a partnership, in love. I also see that I think you want to take a risk in some creative endeavor. I think it's a creative idea that you've been trying to manifest. And with your shared resources, maybe you might be able to expand on that with all the expansive Jupiter energy. You might be feeling like there's some potential there. With Mars, there may be a lot of passion in this creative project for you to move forward and for you to generate something from this. I see it being really positive. I think this may be kind of setting the tone for the year. Whatever you do in that new moon sets the tone for the year. So I would definitely, if it's a creative project that could generate an income, a big income, I would do it on the new moon, which is on the 18th. That's what I would do. And then I would follow the energies on the 22nd and tap into all of that creative energy to try to come up with a really long-term goal to get whatever project that is off and running. April's a really positive month. March, April, and then November and December are the only months that we don't have a planet in retrograde, a personal planet. You don't really want to launch projects when they're, or launch careers, goals, or aspirations when you have a personal planet in retrograde. It's really good to launch stuff, career goals and creative projects and endeavors, and you really want to do that in the months that aren't in retrograde. The months that are in retrograde, you're going to go back and you're going to tweak it, but you want to launch creative ideas. You want to launch career goals in March and April, and then November and December. Then we can go back and tweak in all the other months, because we're going to be looking backward a lot at some of what we've been doing. And what you really want to do as a Capricorn is tap into energy. Tap into energy to have it reach its fullest potential. And you're all about reaching your fullest potential. So this is a really cool concept for you if you can grasp it, if you're metaphysical enough to get it. You launch everything and write down these dates and really think about the energies and the houses that they're in and launch everything accordingly. You can get up that ladder faster. Fighting the energies of the universe, going against the energies of the universe takes twice as long. Right now, we have expansive Jupiter going direct on the 8th. You want to tap into this energy when it is high power like this, when it can expand anything it touches, anything you do. That's just a little bit of advice from me to you. I hope you have a fantastic April, and I hope that everything works out. Don't worry about what is removed from your life from that lunar eclipse. It's just the universe's way of making some room in your life so that you can reach your fullest potential. Have a great, great April.